Hi folks, Dan here. Today I want to talk a little bit about my experience wearing fishnet base layers. I picked these up last fall and wore them for several backpacking trips, and then also wore them all winter for ski touring and snowshoeing, and during the O-Trek in Patagonia just a couple of weeks ago. So I want to talk about how they perform and what the pros and cons of them are. Start with this one here in the front. This one is a wool short sleeve. This next one here is synthetic and in long sleeve. The weights of these two, short sleeve versus long sleeve, come in at about the same. The short sleeve wool comes in at 179 grams on the scale here. The long sleeve poly comes in at 175 grams. So lighter weight material. The advantage of wool is it's antimicrobial, so it smells a little bit less on long backpacking trips. The advantage of the poly, I think, is that it dries a little bit faster and may hold a little less water than the wool does. I tend to use the short sleeve one more often than the long sleeve. I like the wool. I like the antimicrobial properties and not smelling and stuff like that. But beyond that short sleeve versus long sleeve, I just find the short sleeve to be more versatile. And I don't think that I get that much additional warmth out of the long sleeve. The other thing is that as these are fishnets, having a short sleeve gives you the option of wearing a short sleeve shirt without looking like you're going to a rave wearing a fishnet shirt underneath a short sleeve, like a top t-shirt or whatever it is. So I just get more versatility after that. If it's really cold and I'm going to be wearing long sleeves the entire time, then the poly is a good option. I really do like that the poly dries a little bit faster and tends to hold a little bit less water. So I gave you the weights of these. For comparison, I've got one of my older base layers. This is a Merino Icebreaker 200 in a size XL. These are both XLs as well. This one comes in at about 254 grams compared to the 179, 175 for each of these. So these are much, much lighter. And I would say that the warmth that you get from these is comparable to the warmth that you get from the merino, the solid merino base layer. That is if you're wearing a layer on top of these. So the way that the fishnet works so well is the open weave here does a couple of things. One is it allows moisture to pass through it. There's less material to hold on to moisture. But the other thing is that these little holes here create pockets for air to be trapped if you're wearing this under a layer, and that trapped air is what insulates you so well. So my experience in using these is that they hold less sweat. They insulate just as well as like a full wool base layer that weighs 100 grams or more than these do. The other thing I find is these are really comfortable to wear because they store less water against your skin. So if, like when you're skidding uphill, you've got multiple layers on, maybe a shell, and it's trapping moisture, and these are holding onto moisture as any material would. There's less of that moisture being held by the material and less of it being held by your skin, so you feel much less clammy. And I would say that because there's less material in this with the fishnet design, they tend to dry much, much quicker. My experience is also that in addition to drying faster, even though they are holding on to some moisture, you feel less cooling effect from the moisture that they're holding on to. These are best as part of a system. As soon as you take the top layer off, air just passes right through that. And so that gives you a lot of opportunities to increase venting by, unzipping and increasing airflow, and the air just kind of goes right through it. So it's much cooler than wearing a solid knit base layer like the Icebreaker is here. So I have been wearing these almost exclusively since I got them for hiking, backpacking, ski touring, skiing, and even my trek in the Patagonia for 9 days. It was great having a couple of these in the backpack to switch out and also knowing that I'm carrying less weight. So highly recommended on this product. Seems a little weird at first. The fishnet seems like a very dated technology and a little funky to wear, but they certainly perform well for me.